World of Controversy Podcast, episode 11. Welcome to 2021. I'm here, Germ Griffin. We got Julian Rob on the track. Julian, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. How are you?
Great. We have a really good guest today. We have Zombie P, 215 Zombie P. He is the founder of the Zombie Liberation Party. And actually today I'm wearing his brand. You can check out his brand, Zombie Liberation Party. And we're here. Rob, how you feeling today?
I am feeling great.
Okay, sounds good. Zombie, how are you, man?
Man, I'm actually feeling alive right now.
Hey, very good, very good.
Amen.
I'm excited. So what are we talking about today?
So, we're talking about community policing and military occupation.
Occupation.
How they're very similar, the difference between the two. Yeah, this will be a good episode to get into.
It will be a good episode. Episode 11, World of Controversy Podcast. I'm telling you, we really did not think we were going to do it. Make it this far, only by the power of God. An independent podcast brought to you by two guys who know nothing about podcasting. So, it should be good. I got a question. I really got a question. I've been thinking about this topic a lot, right? And I've been trying to figure out what military occupation actually is. The longer I searched it, the more I was confused about what it actually was. I want to talk about what someone said about military occupation. Someone said that there was no actual judiciary definition, meaning that if you went to the law and went and tried to figure out what military occupation was, there is no actual definition in the law about what the military can do while they occupy, what they can't do while they occupy. So it's kind of like anything goes. You know what I mean? What do you think about that? Like,
anything goes. Well, I mean, I'm a veteran.
Okay.
So I've been deployed to war zone, Afghanistan war. And so I know a little bit, what occupation looks like, as far as the outside force existing in somebody's neighborhood, in their backyard, where they just, they're trying to live life.
Okay, right.
And so it's like, when people talk about military occupation in black neighborhoods, obviously you see police officers, but it's in the style in which they're being deployed to our neighborhoods that they really resemble military force.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I could say, piggyback what you were saying about the police officers, especially like how they're weaponized too. Weaponized with like military weapons.
Right.
So it's definitely like having the military like in our like communities.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to pick at something you said, Zombie. He said outside force. So it has to be an outside force, but I want to really dig deep into that. Like, we live here in the city of Philadelphia. I don't know if everyone knows that, great city. But I think it was said that like over 50% of our police come from like the northeast part of Philadelphia. So I want to talk about what is an outside force, because someone could easily make the argument that the cops are still in the actual city border. They're not from outside of Philly, but if you're policing, let's say somewhere like West or South Philly, how could we really dig deep into that being an outside force? You know what I mean? I'm actually not trying to play devil's advocate here, but are they actually outside as in the police? I mean, obviously when the military comes in, they're outside, they're in foreign land. We get that. Different countries, sometimes they're overseas. That makes sense. They're an outside force. But what would really make like a police officer be considered outside of that community?
Do we shop at the same stores?
Ooh.
Do our kids go to the same schools?
Okay. But is that the criteria?
I'm saying that has a lot to do with community. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
You know, we share, because actually, what's the definition of community, right?
Well, a community has to own something.
Yeah, you have to share property and responsibility. Right. Yeah. So.
Right. But if a neighborhood does not own anything, it's not a community. It's a hood. And that's what a lot of black people got. That's why there is no black community in a lot of cities. There's only hoods. Because they don't own any means of production
anytime I had, you know, interaction with police, it wasn't in my home. It wasn't near anything I owned. Except maybe a car.
Right.
But, you know.
Man, you okay? Oh, man. This one's starting early. I like this. Rob, talk to me, man. Because I think me and you did some I think me and you talked earlier in the week, and we talked about like what does military occupation actually mean for us. What you guys saying? What did you learn?
Okay, so basically military occupation, and like you said, there's no like definite definition. I got was, you know, a special like task that you get in the military. And then most of the stuff when I researched it, you're looking at stuff in other countries, the military. I'm seeing stuff from Philippines and the Israelis. And I'm like, man, that's not even helping me with what I'm looking for.
Right.
And there's so much I was learning more about the Philippines and
the Philippines
and the Israelis. Like, yo,
I had kind of a similar situation. I was actually doing a lot of research on the Germany occupation after World War I learned so much about how military is occupied, but what military can do. I don't know if anyone knows this, but there were 3 different militaries in Germany occupying Germany. There was the British, the Americans, and the French. Now, the British and the Americans were cool to the Germans. Their soldiers were kind of cool. But the French, they were not fooling with the Germans. If you even walked on the same side of the street as a French soldier, you know what I mean, you could be in trouble. The military can send you to 30, 90 days in jail. I was like, wait, a military can do this? So what is occupation? How far of an extent can a military go in locking you up or making you the bad guy in your own community? You know what I mean?
So, you know, every time, this past year, every time black people got upset, the National Guard showed up in my neighborhood.
Wait a minute. All right, you're touching on something there. Where are you going with that one?
How are they prepared to police the community compared to how the police been policing the community so far?
You're right.
Like, you know, they don't even get, you know, the pistols, you know, straight up rifles.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Right.
How do they police?
Correct.
What are they protecting?
Oh, man. What are all police?
I didn't even say who. I said what?
Exactly.
That's interesting. With the military coming in after the whole looting,
right,
and everything. How does the military get to come in? You know, compared to the police, who also was armed with a lot of equipment. Right. So how is they not able to handle certain situations?
Right.
If y'all get what I'm saying.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to figure out too. Because it sounds like they always I remember doing protests down there at what was the name of the thing? What was the thing? The DNC in 2016.
I remember that.
That year, by the way, 2016 really changed my life personally. But any activist, protester in Philly area knows that that was a time, probably in our lifetimes, we've never seen that many cops before. And it was like they pulled cops out of... I've never seen that many cops. Where did they get all them cops? And I started doing research and stuff about community policing, and I want to hit on that a little later in the podcast. I don't want to hit on it now, but
I got a lot to say.
yeah, the community, yeah. So going back to what you're saying, why they always have to call out more police, call out more National Guard? If it was a real community coming from the community, protecting the community, we're already here. Let's get this person. Let's get that person. We'll know the people protecting us almost by name, it would seem like. You know what I mean? But they gotta come get the National. Where the National Guard coming from? You know what I mean? Why isn't their military base here? You know,
Yeah,
so... Yeah. So, exactly.
Oh man, I just, like, before I get into the, you know, being upset and asking why, you know, I had to, well, ask myself, why were they even formed to begin with? Why,
right.
like, you know, what did early policing look like?
Right.
And they were only formed to patrol slaves, to prevent people from running away, to protect, you know, large companies, capital investments in the northern cities. It was for the manufacturers, the factory owners, to keep their workers in check. Right. So on both sides of the Mason-Dixon line, right, you had police forces being created solely to control the movement of people.
And protect capital, right?
Protect capital.
Yeah.
To protect capital and uphold slavery.
Yep.
Like the slave catchers.
Yeah.
They was they formed militias. They passed codes. I mean, like you talk about like the Alabama Code, for instance. You know, they had the you know, like from like age to 6 to 60, any white male, you know, they can be called upon to do night patrols. Right. Right. You know, and eventually, like, they started paying people, and they would penalize them for not showing up for duty. So it became, you know, your duty as any good white man, right, to join the slave patrol, to be a part of that. Right. Right. Go forward. Man. Yeah, go forward. You know, you got, you know, slavery is abolished, but, you know, these sheriff's departments, that's what they were created for. Correct. They got more jobs and responsibilities, right, you know, because, you know, it's not, slavery wasn't the word of the day. Now it's, you know, delivered them to the state to be enslaved, because you still got that 13th Amendment loophole. Yeah. That loophole, that's a mug, man. Right. So ain't no more slaves. Everybody free. Yeah. Right.
Nah.
Right.
Till you be convicted of a crime.
That's right.
Right.
If y'all haven't watched the movie 13th Amendment, Netflix, and that was my, stuff I already
you already knew a lot of that, but
I already knew a lot, but it was some stuff that they went into, though.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I want to read a quote or a little bit that a professor by the name Louis Ferdinand said. He was quoted in a paper. The paper says, Fernandez, excuse me, Louis Fernandez, not Louis Farrakhan. I am completely sorry. Anyone who got the two confused, I am dearly sorry. Not the Professor Louis Farrakhan. No, that's a different school of thought. All right. By definition, policing is the regulation and control of a community. The role of the police is to maintain the capitalist social order. Oh man, you're gonna have me cracking up about that Farrakhan thing. Oh man. So yeah, by definition, policing is literally the role of the police is to maintain the capitalist social order. Is that true?
Absolutely, man.
Wow, absolutely, no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
Dang. And just
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
No question.
Oh. Yeah, I wanted to say, you know what I mean? I don't see how it could be kind of falls. It seems like that's what even Zombie was saying. That's kind of how policing got started, to protect capital. You know what I mean? And then they socialized people who protected capital. I don't think
was National Security Advisor. He the quitter got fired. Trump's got McMaster.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, was it General McMaster or something like that?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, he gave a speech, and he was talking about the U.S. military's purpose.
Okay.
And, you know, I didn't write down a quote like he did, but paraphrasing, he was pretty much saying that the U.S. military's purpose is to uphold America's influence on the global markets. So just like we said, you know, talk about capitalism.
Right.
So to hold that without that fear that you're gonna get jacked up,
right.
you know, you're gonna get those fair deals. So strong military, healthy market.
Wow. Yeah. Oh man.
I mean, I really don't see much difference between military and police officers. Like I feel like they serve the same function.
I actually want to talk about what I thought about it and what I think to be the biggest difference. And you can disagree, you guys can disagree. Attached to the military is a country and their goals and what they're trying to succeed at. There's a general, and we already know it's to win wars or to create some type of fear or to gain some type of natural resource. Sometimes it's to gain slaves. As we know, certain wars do create slavery because, you know what I mean, the people captured become slaves. But I also want to talk about why it's different than policing. Policing is actually, I know Julian gonna laugh, policing actually help. Policing are the teeth of oppression down on the people, down on the lowest class of people in the entire capitalist hierarchy. Policing are actually the police are actually connected to a larger system I want to talk about, which might be actually more the culprit to our problems, and that is the criminal justice system, which the military, I feel like personally, does not have. The military actually is more sincere because you know exactly who's causing your pain. You know exactly. You can point fingers directly at a general. You can point fingers directly at a country. The military says, hey, you guys can't go to this town at night, or you can't sell liquor. You know what I mean? They made the Germans not sell liquor in their own town. All of this crazy stuff. You would go to jail 90, 30 days. With our criminal justice system and the teeth of oppression that is the police, you have probation, which really is demonic. Probation is a horrible thing. We have probation that keeps you stuck in a system. Mm-hmm. See, military occupation is a part of the global capitalist system. Mm-hmm. What we have with the police are connected to the criminal justice system, which really is almost like making you a slave in your own country, in your own state. Which really is a problem. We've really got to fix things. I'm not about reform, by the way. I am about defunding and liberation. A zombie liberation party. I'm all about the liberation of people. And that's what we really got to look at. Stop blaming the cops. Uh-oh. Y'all don't want me to get real controversial. Why are we blaming the cops when the cops are just the teeth of oppression? Oppression has to be, oppression is actually an entire system to make sure you're at the lowest rank. There's a hierarchy of classes. So you're blaming the police. The police just get you caught up in the web of the entire system. And if you're occupied by military, you're way deep into the web. You're not even in the very teeth of oppression. You in the belly of oppression. If you're in a city or state that's occupied by a military right now, you're in the belly of oppression. You know what I mean? So you deep in it. You know what I mean?
So,
there's people that they'll see the soldiers and they'll see the police officers and they say, "Oh my God, thank you!
I know.
You're finally here."
Oh man. So oh man. All right, no, hold up, Zombie. Where we going with that one? Okay.
I'm not one of them.
I agree.
Totally not one of them.
So,
but there are people that really feel as though that, you know, the police are very necessary to keep the order in our world. You know, that there's chaos without them. That the neighbors will, you know, break in their homes and rape them.
He already broke into some of the stuff we're going to talk about. All right, so you're right on that.
Right.
With the community policing, that is for police officers to come into the neighborhood, get to know the neighborhood, act like they a part of the community. That's why you see some on the news that's playing basketball with the kids, trying to skateboards and whatnot. Really, that's not every community, man. Sometimes they act like that. A lot of times, they put in fear into people.
Oh man. Yeah, I want to touch on that fear part too. So you're saying that, okay, let's put the 2 points together. Zombie's saying that without police, there won't be it's not going to be as much neighbors coming in, raping, taking their stuff, taking their personal items. Is that what you're saying? And Julian, you're trying to...
he's saying
I didn't
some
say
people...
there would be anything. I said...
He said some people will feel safer with the community policing.
Okay.
There are some people out there that does feel safer. Especially if you're coming from a good neighborhood. So, yeah, there's a difference between a good, rich neighborhood and us poor neighborhoods. Okay. And so you're saying that there's a different relationship between neighborhoods and their police due to the relationship between them as individuals and their capital and their and how much which class they're a part of? Like all right. I mean, because it sounds like a good point, but I just wanted to know if that's where you're going with that. You know what I mean? You got
yo, this is a profound discovery. Like, words, bro. You mean to tell me people in rich neighborhoods got good relationships with cops, and poor people got poor relationships with cops? Is that what you need to tell me? We're working with this guy, man. He has to ask.
Episode,
a lot of stuff goes over this guy's head.
Episode 11, World of Controversy podcast. We got a really good guest today. I'm super excited. I'm Germ Griffin. We got Julian Robinson on the track. And yes, we do have Zombie P in the house. Really good guest. Zombie P is in the house. It's episode 11. Zombie, what you thinking, man?
Man, Zombie P, the professor, man. I'm thinking that, you know, we having a good build so far. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got a little personal story, you know, with police officers throughout my life that, you know, I'm pretty sure sounds like a lot of other black males. You know, not fun interactions. You know, a little bit of violence sprinkled in. You know, fear for life. But I'm still here. You feel me? I'm still here. So, Zombie Liberation Party, you know, it's really about pushing self-determination. You know, economic empowerment for black, brown people, you know, other people that's been disenfranchised. I really feel like we need to reestablish a relationship with the governments that we live with.
I know.
You know, black people, I feel like less than citizenship. We got taught a little bit about citizenship in high school. I went to Central High School in Philadelphia. So I was able to have one of my classes for civic law. So, you know, I was given an understanding about, you know, what the relationship with government that, you know, we're all supposed to have. But, you know, I didn't share that vision, you know, once I left the school. You know, instead of, you know, police, they would wear T-shirts. Not in my town, scumbag. You know, they would literally pass laws. What was it in high school? I was in Upper Darby for a little second, right? And it was around the time when everybody was moving from West Philly or Uptown. Everybody was moving from Philly into Upper Derby.
Okay.
And they were not having it because it's like, where's all these black people coming from? And, oh, we got a drug problem because you're here now. And, I mean, he was already smoking crack before we got there. Let's get that straight. Let's get that straight. Y'all was just coming to West Philly for it. Like, that was next door. But, no, they started passing laws, which, you know, we're very familiar with, anti-gang laws. So, like, ordinances that no more than 3 people could walk together. Period. Like, if it was more than 2 black dudes walking together, oh, we was getting stopped.
What?
We was getting searched.
Oh man!
Like there was dogs present.
Was it mid-2000s or?
Yeah, mid-2000s for sure.
Wow.
You know, Jeezy, Snowman, and all.
Jeez.
You know, that was popping. But yeah, that was like very early on. I remember this officer, Chuck Cassidy, got shot in Broward Island. A couple days later, you know, we get pulled over. My friend, he yelling at some girls from the car.
Man.
Cops pull us over. First thing, get in the fuck, what's up? Like, guns right in our faces.
Oh,
like, yeah, we didn't even ask for ID yet. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, man.
I don't know. So, like, you know, so very early on, I was taught to fear the police. I was in 2nd grade.
Right.
This police officer came to speak to our class. 2nd grade. He says, if I see you in the window or on your porch and you got a water gun and you point it at a police officer, we will shoot you. I was in 2nd grade.
Right.
You know, so, you know, this is very early on. You know, they established, you know, what it is. So I'm under no illusion. Like, if you tell a child that, I believe you.
Right. Wow. Man. That's disturbing probably to her as a child. You probably never see police the same way ever.
I got family that's law enforcement.
Okay.
You know, retired. There's probably a couple people that are probably still in. I don't really know how to have too many conversations with them, but you know, they're not bad people. Obviously, they're related to me, so it can't be too bad. But oh man, it's a whole philosophy, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. Julian, I know you're itching to get to it, man. Let's hit it up, man. Let's get it started. Community policing, man. What are your thoughts? How you feel? What did you find?
Alright, well, I was gonna piggyback what you was asking me before. What you asked?
About the rich and the poor neighborhoods and the
neighborhoods. Yeah, since you like to ask.
Yeah, you know I got
questions.
Yeah, you know me. All right, break it down for us.
So look, you got the higher class neighborhoods, right?
Right.
Not too much crimes, whatever. You know, money. They the police in their communities is different from where we at. And the lower class, as we got cops that look at us as we're criminals. They look at everybody as criminals in our class. And when we, you know, they'll watch you when you go to the store, walking down the block. Right. So we don't even have a lot of like trust with our policing. Right. My man said, you know, some people feel safe with the police in the community. Yeah, there's some people, and then you got some people that's like, no, why they in my community? Right. What do we need them for? Right. To be honest, we don't need them. Right. We really don't. No. Because they're not doing nothing. They're terrorizing us. They're trying to control us. Right. Thing is, if they was to build a relationship in the community, right? Actual relationship. Not no BS. Well, actually wouldn't be so bad having the police in our neighborhood. What? The fact that we get, you got people that get stopped and frisked, You got people that get convicted of crimes. Police do so much dirt. And the people that gets targeted is the people that don't got much money.
Right.
If you're less educated, that makes you're definitely an easy target.
Correct.
And you be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And you're uneducated. And you don't got money. Oh. You're an easy target. You're an easy target. Which will piggyback on what you said about our criminal justice system.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Because our criminal justice system is so messed up. See, you know why so many people are convicted of crimes that they did not do?
Why?
Because in our criminal justice system, they are so busy trying to get evidence fast. They're trying to get, matter of fact, not even evidence, they're trying to get the case done fast. So they don't have actual valuable time putting into a lot of these cases to really get the right information.
Okay.
They try to rush things, and that's what happened. If you watch what happened with the Central Park 5.
Oh man, that's a can of worms right there.
That's a whole can of worms. But you have all these black guys, and you pinpoint. Well, first they pinpoint 4 people, random people,
right?
And they all didn't know each other. They was all children. So you already know they wasn't like that much educated in the criminal justice system.
Right.
That made them all easy targets.
Yeah.
Then they got the 5th guy because he was a friend of the other guy, but he was there to support him. But he was like 16, so they needed a guy at that age to investigate about the parents.
Got you. Yeah, you're right. I think about what was going on in Portland, Oregon during the protest yesterday with people just getting thrown in the vans by the police and stuff. I don't know if y'all heard about it. Me and you, we did a whole episode partially about it. But yeah, that was ridiculous. Yeah, that was like fascism to the 3rd degree. So yeah.
So what happened? They just picking people up off the street and just throwing them in the van?
Yeah, it was during all that unrest, during the whole George Floyd, Black Lives Matter stuff.
Oh, like they literally like made a new city in South Florida.
Oh, yeah, that is that. Chaz, yeah. Okay, so no, we're talking about during that time, some of the protesters were still out and about, not even in the Chaz zone. They were just out and about doing protests, and at night, the protest over, they headed home. People were thrown in the vans by the police, and they went to the, booking station, had to get booked. But just the way they did it wasn't normal police procedure for that place. Usually you get read your rights, you know what I mean? You see the cop face. This was almost like a get out situation where van comes up at night, puts you in, you know what I mean? So kidnapping, but it was just the cops. Oh yeah, we just wanted to, get your fingerprints on. Oh, okay.
Oh, cops do that? I hear a lot of crazy stories from cops. Yeah.
Oh man. So community policing. Let's get to it before I want to get to this community policing thing. I did enough research on community policing, and to be honest, another thing that it wasn't really a clear definition what people were talking about, and I feel like maybe the definition we're using or the term we're using isn't really what we're talking about. A lot of people using this term community policing, I feel like, are actually talking about the cops just kind of being friendly with the community. It has nothing to do with community ownership of protection. It has nothing.
That's what I'm more interested in.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with tribal law. It has nothing to do with tribal law or the community owning the protection. It has more to do with the police we already have. Let's just get them to some cookouts and down, do your dance with the people, and then maybe things will, look a little better.
I think it's making it worse.
Oh, wow. For blacks or for the cops?
We already don't want them here, so now they're going to come to our cookouts. I already don't want you to stop me. Man. Like that, they want to be my neighbor. No, I looked at the community policing, the different models. You heard of the rope program? So it was this town, called Helgen, I don't know, wherever, middle of America. Okay. They got a pretty diverse police force. They had an Asian female officer, and she was part of this program. Right. And what they did was they would house police officers in certain neighborhoods of the city that were supposed to be particularly distressed. Right. And so they'd be on call, resident officer. So they got regular duty officers, but also 24/7 since they lived here. Right. Anybody can call them for help. And it's supposed to put like a face on the police force and know that, like, hey, we're here. Like, you see me in my PJs. You see me at the store, like you talked about before, no, I think that's even worse. It's like kind of like putting a spy into the neighborhood. Now it's like, you can look at the edges because I'll be dangerous. Because I got problems with colors. That's controversial. I'm gonna say some stuff, but let me let Julian go, man. What you got?
You let me go
because that's interesting. All right, go ahead.
All right. Well, look, this community policing, right? Well, like you were saying, community, police supposed to get friendly with the neighborhood and whatnot. Man, we don't need them in our neighborhoods. What are they there for? First of all, y'all do more terrorizing than y'all do being friendly, to be honest. And I wonder why people don't like y'all. Y'all had disearned. This earned the trust of the community. For us to really trust you and to come to our communities and be friendly with us, you haven't done nothing to earn our trust. Yeah. So how are we gonna have community policing if we have no trust in the police system? Yeah. You're right, man. In fact, I want to go into something I was thinking about. Kind of made me queasy when I was thinking really hard about community policing. All the cops that locked up young black men, killed young black men, did whatever to young black women. Don't even really want to think about that too long. And not just black folk, Hispanics, and poor people in general. There's some white trash out there getting hurt by the police too. More power to them. I'm sorry, y'all. I know y'all hate me. All right, so I love them too. So catch this: if one of these police officers did something to somebody, and they're the police department, all right, y'all, we're gonna do community policing protocols because, the quote I was about to read, supposedly in 2012. There was 81% of the nation's population is served by a law enforcement agency that have adopted community policing approaches. 87% of people are under some type of policing law enforcement district that supposedly has these community policing approaches. Now, my thing is, I'm not going to call it BS yet because maybe the approaches weren't much. Maybe they were very small approaches, but we're still going to call it community policing. Either way, if there are police in places like Flint, Michigan, and places like Miami, where we know there's a bunch of tension between the police and the people, and we know some of these cops did mess with some of the people in the community, either touched them the wrong way, killed their dads, killed their uncles, you're expecting these people to start pals and volunteer at Boys and Girls Club, give out food, go to cookouts. It's so weird, being in front of a family or a neighborhood that you
already terrorized sometime in your police career earlier. I'm thinking about it from the police perspective. Like, I can only imagine you going to a cookout with the son of a guy you had to lock up and or killed. How would that feel? Like, it gotta be weird. You know what I mean? It gotta be weird, and it's something the military don't have to deal with as much, but the police kind of have to deal with it. You're living right up next to people you lock up, people you're in people's business. You see people's domestic situations and stuff, you know what I mean? Seeing wives beat husbands. How you gotta go see a wife, you know what I mean? You know the wife cursing her husband out. Then you gotta eat and, you know what I mean? Play with their kids for some community policing protocol. You know, it's just weird. I don't know. What you think about that, Zombie?
I'm all for like diversionary programs.
Diversionary?
It's different programs that partnerships with the community.
Okay.
And the justice system to like keep younger people from actually getting locked up or
right.
So like you're talking about pals. Growing up, I thought pals were kind of cool. Cool. All right. Cops, these cops gonna mess with you? Okay.
Yeah, right.
This is a safe space for police. Is like, you come here, you won't get beat up.
Right. I just shot a 3 on a cop today. What happens?
No, but yeah, I mean, like really just looking into it because, like, I would hear the term community policing all the time, and it was not what I thought it was. Like when I would say community policing, like I guess like what I really am thinking about is just community control of policing.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
So like actual community members, so community leaders. Because it's not like we don't have any. Like they do exist. There are members in our communities, especially older people. Right. There are people that are business owners. Right. There are people that own their homes still. Right. Like they're here. So it's not like we don't have these things. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that we give these things up. Like or we every time we vote or don't vote.
Yep. Absolutely.
I want us to take it. I want like that. That's like my vision. This is like I feel like black people would be the safest if we could patrol and protect our own communities, right. From people that's trying to do harm to their neighbors, or from outsiders. Yeah, like actually that kind of sounds like what some white folks got going in this neighborhood just talking about earlier, man. Like police that actually work for you. Yeah. So I'm not counting on the government to work for me. They haven't for centuries. Right. So, we really need to work for ourselves. Yeah. So we can actually start our own forces to protect our property. But we gotta have enough property.
Oh man. Going back to the community thing, a lot of these black folk ain't got a community. They got hoods. They don't own not a drop in the hood.
Man, you really just took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, man. I got that from Dick Gregory.
I was just thinking as soon as he said it, you just took it.
Yep. Well, yeah. You know what I mean? You talking about Professor Farrakhan. I'm talking about Professor Dick Gregory. What's up, Rob? What's up, Rob? I can talk about the professors too, man. What?
Okay. Well, my man Professor Farrakhan talks a lot about that.
Let's put some respect on his name, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan.
Oh, okay. You minister. The Honorable Minister. Minister Farrakhan.
Uh-oh. You don't want to go there.
Be professor.
Yeah.
Minister Professor Farrakhan.
Yeah. And speaking of Farrakhan, I think, and the Minister Farrakhan thing, I think a little bit about...
You know something about policing.
I know. That's what I was about to get to. I think about some of our religious buildings, some of our religious institutions. I'm a Christian. I go to church. I know black people own churches. It's actually one thing in our community we own. Maybe if we started initiatives for some type of community policing within our churches. And same thing going back to Minister Farrakhan, we already know that
I'm scared of Christian Patrol. I ain't gonna lie.
Can't wait to get you false prophets. But anyway,
when we get to talk about those false prophets,
now wait a minute.
Now
we're gonna be hard on the false prophets. But going back to the Muslims, like and a lot of the, not to expose too much on this episode, we know the connection between the black Muslims and the black mafia, which again isn't quite a police force, but it is again a checks and balances with that capitalist undertone within it. So there, we could go deep into that. What Malcolm X was doing with a bunch of people in suits coming at certain where were they at? They were at like certain police buildings, like free these people, like what I mean? So all of that stuff. So yeah, definitely. Right.
All right. So you already discussed we don't need the police now.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about the militarization a little bit of our actual police.
Militarization of the police. See?
That's what I was just about to get to. Actually, it started with the war on drugs.
Oh man, it was called it BOP. BOP, like you got WAP, Black Oppression Porn. So I'm starting to call it Black Oppression Porn. So it's like Netflix, they got a new documentary about crack. It's like they just making a whole new category, Black Oppression Porn.
You know the name of the documentary though?
Crack. Just type in crack, bro.
I understand exactly.
Type in crack. That was not good enough. We have audience here. They might want to watch what you talking about.
Netflix crack, bro. I'm telling you, it's new. It's brand new on Netflix.
Brand new. All right.
Crack documentary. Yeah, like it's going to tell you.
Just put in crack documentary. That's all you gotta do. And if it says something for 2020 Netflix,
just know.
Yeah. Watch it.
Yeah, Zombie telling us about it. We should watch it. The Black Oppression Porn category, where you can watch all that you want to of blacks being oppressed. It seemed like something a lot of people have a fetish for. So, you can check out the crack documentary. And going back to the militarization of the police, I wanted to talk about the 80s drug war era. It created several laws and bills that allowed police to cooperate with the military. During the 80s, all the way up to like 90s, we got an increase of SWAT teams. This is what really turned the cops into something different. Cops, the boys in blue as they used to call them, or still call them, they became a military during the war on drugs. When the military had stuff that they weren't using, during the 80s, laws were given out, or laws was passed where the cops could get all that military gear. That's when it started. Yeah. Cops with AKs, and we've seen during the protests, cops got crazy equipment now. Grenade launchers, all of that is from like bills from the 80s that literally let the cops get this military equipment that the military wasn't using. Before then, cops couldn't use that stuff. They're not a military, you know what I mean? I think about that one protest, Tariq was talking about this. They always pull out the good equipment for black people. The new equipment. Bro, tell me. They got tested on someone. They bomb a move. That was the first time the police force ever bombed civilians in our land. The second time, do you know when the second time the police ever used bombs on civilians?
So the second time.
The second time. Do you know the second time?
It had to happen in Philly again. Where?
I don't know if it happened in Philly. I think it happened in Atlanta or Baltimore. It's a black city. Do you remember when there was a protest and someone got into some building? I think he killed one or two cops, and they used a robot to go into the building and throw a bomb at this guy. It had to be 2000.
Like the guy Micah, you talking about Dallas, the Dallas shooting?
I think so.
Yeah,
or it was one of
like 12 cops.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, he was barricaded in I think he was in the parking garage. And so yeah, they sent the robot with explosives.
Yes. That's the second time the police, and this isn't the army. I think that was police, I believe, from what I was reading. The army, the police, whatever, used a bomb to kill civilians. That was the second time it happened, and both times were for killing blacks. We just had a, just to help y'all out, if you have been living under Iraq, last week, I think Julian wants to hit on it, so I'll let him have his little thunder. The insurrection at the Capitol.
Okay.
Yeah, no bombs, no robots, no bombing from helicopters, nothing. Just white folk taking it back. Just white folk taking it back.
We're not gonna take it.
Come on.
Playing that song. No, they was like that. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. No, but seriously though, police officers, man, they ain't really do nothing. Some of them was in on them protests.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it's not even a protest. I'm calling it what it is. A terrorist attack, because that's what it really is. Just be true about it. Y'all want to call, when black people organize terrorist attack, just call this what it is. It's a terrorist attack. Because why? How did they get to storm the Capitol?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
in
to
a very important meeting.
Right.
And then the cops that were doing something, what did they do? They just threw them.
Right.
Like, no weapons or nothing. Like, y'all just doing them or pushing them back. Like, y'all not really, like, doing what y'all did when y'all came in our neighborhoods.
Right.
Y'all ain't shoot no rubber bullets.
None.
Y'all ain't put out that tear gas or nothing.
Right.
Like, come on.
Right.
And they act like they ain't know this was coming. First of all, how does y'all ain't know? This was all on social media. So y'all can't say y'all don't know.
Ready.
Y'all got inauguration on the 20th. All over social media, you're hearing, oh, they're about to protest in the Capitol, all 50 states. Y'all already said it right now. So when that happens and y'all see another attack or whatever, just know y'all already saw it. Y'all ain't want to act on that. I doubt y'all even act on this one. So I wouldn't be surprised what goes on this week on the 20th.
Damn. You right. Zombies?
Man, I'm kind of wrapped out about the cops at this point, man. It's like, oh, man, let's change the system, man. So let's pay attention to what's going down at the Capitol. A lot of new precedent is going to be set for how people are going to mobilize from now on.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't support Trump one bit. I voted against him. I'll say that much. But under Biden, I feel as though there's going to be more totalitarianism going on.
More totalitarian.
They're gonna go hard. Even Black Lives Matter is gonna get less love thanks to the Trump folks. It's gonna be an overcorrection. So as far as standing up to the state, like, watch your body.
Yep. Zombie, man, I want to give you the floor. You want to promote anything on the podcast before we close it up, brother?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my name is Zombie P, the Zombie Professor, founder of Zombie Liberation Party. I've got a business, Zombie Merchandising Company. I sell clothing, I sell paintings, artwork, music, whatever that you want to support me by, you can go ahead and grab it. I don't have any sponsors. I do everything from the muscle. So you can check me out on Instagram, ZombieP215. You can check out my website, zombiemerch.co, zombiemerch.co. Yeah, man, I'm all about peace, love, and prosperity. I'm one of the most approachable, reclusive people you'll find.
All right, this is Word of Controversy, episode 11. We're going to end it here. Peace out. See you next time.